What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. How y'all doing out there? Um, in recent events, one particular, African American Akata shine saying has become, is really been prevalent the last couple hours, and I think it's about time it stopped. you know. African Americans, the Akatas, the Shines, are notorious for inviting. Their phrase is "invited." You're invited to the cookout. It's almost exclusively said toward white folks, and the reason they say this is because if a white folks, you say, like in today's time, you say something about Trump, or you say something but speak out about racism. Oh, they're invited to the cookout. If the white folks talking about, there's this systematic racism. I don't know how you black folks can do it. I could never do it. Oh my gosh, Jerry, you're invited to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Shine does. Now, in me, it's the most pandering thing I've ever seen, and now I'm starting to think, and I'm starting to see. Some white folks in media, they start to, hey man, they take advantage of it. You know what I mean? They'll say things to the black folks just so they can get that cookout invite, just so they can get that pass. It's not like you're not going to a literal cookout, but you'll get, you'll get a little bit of following. You get, you get a little street cred. You'll get some more social media followers, and that's it. You want more eyes on you, so that's the name of the game. But listen, black folks, and I'm talking to y'all, man. Somebody doesn't always have to say or agree with you 100% of the time just so you could be their friend or anything like that. That's like I don't know why you would do that. I wouldn't. If you want to invite somebody to cookout, you invite somebody to cookout because they're your friend. You're cool with them. You work together. They might have different opinions on things than you, but still, you can come together as human beings and enjoy each other's company. You know what I mean? Stop with this. He said this. Let's go through the tweets. You know what I mean? White person, racism is bad, y'all. Oh my God, y'all, they're invited to the cookout. This is the things we gotta go through. Pop is officially invited to the cookout, and Steve Kerr, he and Steve Kerr both. Because Popovich said, this is what Popovich said: the discussions needs to take place. People have to be made to feel uncomfortable, particularly white people. I don't get this. You have to make white folks uncomfortable. With what? If you were talking about racism, in slavery, you can't just talk to anybody, because not everybody owns slaves. The vast majority of white families never owned slaves. So why would they feel uncomfortable about things they never even did? If you want to have that conversation with Georgetown University, or Thomas Jefferson's people, But you have to narrow that stuff down. But just to say, they're going to be. Why would they feel uncomfortable? Would you, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you feel uncomfortable? Because I know Uncle Hotep wouldn't feel uncomfortable. I'd be like, man, hey, man, it is what it is, man. I hope the shit get better. I'm not trying to say I'm not Mahatma Gandhi or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. I'm not going out for the Nobel Peace Prize. But hey, man, some things are obviously overblown. And if you look at the white liberal media and the buffer Negroes, that's what you're going to get. And more Popovich to the cookout. Pop to the cookout. I told Sarah 7 Sexton 7, she's invited to the cookout. She says, what is it? Post Malone is invited to the cookout. No doubt about it. This Bob Costas. Bob Costa nailed this. Patriotism comes in many forms, but it's been conflated with bumper sticker, flag waving, and military only. He's invited to the cookout. Now that's true. You know what I mean? You don't have to wear like, you know, a million flags, stickers all over your body, your hat's American flag, your shirt's American flag, your drawers American flag, your pants American flag. You know what I mean? That's meme worthy shit. But you know, it's always centered about, you know, the flag and the national anthem. You know what I mean? Like I said in other videos, you know, like patriotism is a tool of the state. That's why I don't get caught up with it. You know what I mean? So I don't really care if these people sit or stand for the flag. I mean, that's on them. You know what I mean? But the state doesn't want this sort of activity to continue because, you know, they need patriotism, you know what I mean, to fill the ranks of the military, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Just like after 9/11, you know, it was patriotism galore after that. You know what I mean? And that's why, because they want to use those type of tools. The only NASCAR driver who's invited to the cookout. All Americans are granted rights to peaceful protest. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. JFK. I don't know if there is a peaceful revolution. If there was one that has taken place, somebody please, please fill me in on that one that was peaceful. It never has been peaceful in this country, and so I don't know what you're talking about, Dale. I know JFK said that quote is attributed to JFK, but it is what it is, man. The powers of being won't give up without a fight. Nobody does. Obligatory Dale Earnhardt is invited to the cookout comment modified with and the after party, the pickup game, and barbershop. Yo, man. Yo. Yo. Yo, this guy said Ray Lewis is invited back to the cookout. Ravens player 57, nah. Ravens player number 17, one knee, man. You know what I mean? You know, I don't want to call it coonish, but, you know, inviting people to the cookout because they say some political stances that you may agree with, you know, is certainly, I want to say, just white acceptance. You know, I think one thing that plagues the black African Americans, that doesn't plague, you know, African immigrants and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just the culture here and circumstances of history. You know, we've had I don't think blacks and whites have been together for so long in the course of history, other than in recent modern history, than America. You know what I mean? And, you know, if you take some people from slavery and, you know, they've looked at, you know, white Americans with a certain amount of envy sometimes, and and you know, the civil rights era, you know, you have to understand, if they fought to eat with I want to eat at the white diner, like I never got that. You know what I mean? I want to eat at the white diner. Well, like, instead of like, hey man, let's find a black diner so we can give our black folks money. You know what I mean? You have to understand that's the mentality that has been rewarded. And, you know, and the powers that be, you know, in the brackets, rewarded blacks for doing that. You know what I mean? They set up classes. You know what I mean? Where they would dump milk over black people's head and blow smoke in their face. You know, I mean, there was civil rights classes because they want to have their eat-ins and dine-ins and or whatever. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like, I know hindsight is 20/20. I know this, but you won't ever find, like, if you take the Indians that are here, the African immigrants that are here, the Asian immigrants that are Asian people that are here. They don't have the same. They will never. They don't have a similar. They're invited to the cookout. Like the Indians won't ever say, "Oh, he's invited to eat curry." You know what I mean? The Asians won't ever say, "Oh, he's invited to eat some shrimp fried rice," or the Africans won't ever say, "Oh, he's invited to eat some saltfish." No, they would never say that because they don't care. But see, in Black Americans, is you have that that history between each other, and there's a certain amount of envy, you know. And I'm not saying, well, it is up to us, to Black Americans, to change that, but there's certain people behind the scenes, aka the brackets, the lizard man, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, that directed, more or less, directed this path that we've been on. And they actually reward this type of thinking because they control the media and the black media in this country. I think it's time for Black Americans to stop inviting anyone to the cookout. And yes, you can, like, you can have friends and allies, but to, like, oh, they're invited to the cookout, that's like, just think about it for yourself. Like, how embarrassing. This should be embarrassing for y'all to say this. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, somebody has to say some political thing for them to be invited, to be your friend, to invite you to your cookout. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You got to think better than that. I would hope y'all would, but, you know, it's, I don't know. The same people that invite people that say this, invite people to cookout, are the same people that say straight black men are the white people of black people. I'm telling you. They're the same people. They're the same people. Anyway, this is Uncle Hotep. Thanks for listening. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit me up, Handy Mayhem Uncle Hotep. Follow me on Twitter, Handy Mayhem Uncle Hotep. Episode 69, the podcast is out. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.